All right. Hang on, folks. We had the little technical issue, but we're going to get this going one more time. Learning as I go here. So sorry about that. Um, I'm going to apologize to my buddy here when he comes on. What happened, folks, is somebody tried to video call over it, and I wasn't expecting. And so I'm going to apologize to Rude when he comes on. Um, while we're waiting for him, I do have an announcement. We are doing another one of these later today with my buddy Kyle Eric. That's going to be coming up in about a little over an hour. A little bit, if I can read my clock here. Yeah, a little over an hour. And so I'll be bringing him on for one of these at about 6 o'clock Eastern. Special thanks to StreamYard. I'm still learning. I've been using StreamYard to do guest spots, but this is the first time I'm doing one as the host. So uh, this is something totally different for me. I'm, kind of fish out of water kind of deal. Learning as I go here. But coming up, let's see, in the near future, we'll be having Successful Toy Podcast. She's coming on. Kyle Eric is coming on later today, as I said. And I've invited several others, including Eric G. And yeah, you're going to get to meet a lot of really, really fabulous people. I'm really excited about doing this.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, Rude? Sorry about that, bro.
No problem, man. No problem. Where was I at, man?
Yeah. Uh, well, you're talking about high school.
Oh yeah. So I graduated high school with like a 3.14. I always had like A's and B's and whatnot. Um, but then I went 2008 or 2008. I went to either 2008 or 2007. 2008, I went to a school uh, for people with disabilities. It was like a business school or whatever, and I learned how to do business and customer service.
Customer service,
And
right? You mentioned that.
yeah, and I love that time. I love when I went to college because anytime you get to be away from your parents and experience life on your own and figure out how to do things on your own, that's a good
Hmm.
time in your life. So I was
Absolutely.
by myself. I was by myself for like a year, and I just learned so much. Going to college helped me become more independent. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So
No, I got nothing but respect for you, brother. You know that.
appreciate it, man.
We've been buds for a while now. And it's you, me, Eric, Kyle, everybody. Matter of fact, I'm having Kyle Eric on later tonight. I'm doing a one-on-one with Kyle Eric Barboza at 6. So
Word,
he'll be
word,
the
word. That's
second.
fire.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I got he was one of the first 4 or the first 3 that I did a show with I mean, on camera. Like I said at the start of the first of this, uh, I was part of the chat for the Navarro Miller report with Dave Navarro and Jeremy Miller of Growing Pains for
Right.
almost a year and a half, and that's where I met Brian B. And it was Father's Day 2 years ago. He was on their show, and I met him, and we got to talking afterwards. And he's like, "I'd love to have you on. I'm taking a break from mine, but I'm getting it going in the fall." And we were supposed to do a retro night. It was going to be me, uh, him, Eric G, and Kyle Eric, and it was supposed to be retro night, and we wound up talking about relationships because this rumor came up about the Steve Harvey and his wife about extramarital affairs. So we did an episode on relationships instead. So
Right.
that was kind of wild. But I saw something you posted earlier today, Rude. I wanted to ask you about you posted a selfie, and I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You posted a selfie, and it says, let me see, it's Mister Make.
It's Mr. It's Mr. Make them stand on business. Don't let the wheelchair fool you. Yeah.
Yeah, where did that come from? Did something happen that just kind of you know set you on that path or what?
I'm gonna be completely honest. With me having cerebral palsy, me being in a wheelchair,
Right.
I come across people who think because you're in a wheelchair or because you have a disability that you soft, that you a pug, that you can't do anything. So
Hmm.
I was getting ready for the interview, right? So I was like,
Right.
before I do the interview, because like the way my day started, I got up, you know what I'm saying, got up, you know what I'm saying, was scrolling, trying to, handle business before the interview. I got dressed and I was like, I'm gonna take a picture. And I took some pictures and I put the picture on Facebook and
Hang on.
the
Let me see if
wow
I can
look
show it to the crowd. Hold on. There you go.
good. And the way I looked at the picture, I looked so serious, you know what I'm saying?
You do. Yeah. That is a seriously set on shit expression, brother.
Yeah. So the way I look so serious. So it's just like, yo, don't let the wheelchair fool you. But honestly, like when you know me on the one-on-one and like you actually
Right.
my friends actually told me I'm actually very goofy. But I don't want to give off the impression
You
like
you
because
you're you a random brother. I'll give you that. You random as
yeah,
hell.
I'm actually very
One of the things I
random and
love
very
about you, bro.
I'm actually very random and goofy, but I also want to give up let people know just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't mean I'm soft. So sometimes I do things and say things to see what people's reaction is gonna be because
Yeah.
when you say something about my disability or anybody's disability, it makes them feel uncomfortable. So the best way to make people feel comfortable about something that you can't control is just to bring it out, just to say it. You know what I mean? So
Have a little fun with it.
I
Absolutely.
yes, I wanted to. I'm really a good dude, but I'm not somebody to play with. I'm a cancer. We don't like we're not
Yeah.
nobody
Me too,
play.
bro. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not,
Us cancers, we don't fuck around.
yeah.
I
We're
mean,
not
let's just
nobody
be
to play
honest
with.
with it.
We got good hearts though.
Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah.
We are random as shit.
Random is my middle name, bro. Like I was. That's what made me take the picture. I was like, I'm just gonna. I practiced the pose too. Like I ain't gonna. Like
Right.
I did it on purpose. And see I noticed when you just sit back and say, "Hey, I'm in a wheelchair," or "Hey, I have a disability. This is me. What you gonna do about it?" So many
Hmm.
people respect it. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I'm not
Now,
ashamed of who I am. So
where did you? I've never asked you this. So, but
mhm.
going where you're going. Where did you come up with your with the name Rude Life? Where did you come up with that?
so the whole name Rude Life NASA. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a cool person. Okay. I'm gonna keep it G with you. I'm a cool person. But
Yeah.
once you
You
tick me
definitely
off,
that.
once you tick me off, I go to some others. On some, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm a
I had
cool
to switch
person.
from Wi-Fi. I had to switch from Wi-Fi to mobile data.
Cool. So I'm a cool person. But once you take me there, like I could be rude. I could, you know what I'm saying? So like growing up, like I used to have a temper. I don't have that temper like that anymore. Thank God. So that's kind of where the rude part came from. You know what I mean? And like that was
And
life for me. I was
was that because of people constantly thinking, well, let's
thinking
just
because
say
my
it,
woods out
thinking
frost.
less
Yeah.
of you because of the CP?
Um, that was part of it, and another part of it is because when I was in college, I was by myself. So a couple times, a lot of times, I got into a few fights because it was, you know, like I was new there at that time, or
Hmm.
they wanted me to get down with certain things I wasn't trying to get down with, as far as crews and all that. So I had to stand on my own. So I always had this saying: I'd rather you think I'm crazy or I'm mean before you think I'm a punk. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So that's where that rule came from. The NASA came from because growing up, like I like space. You know what I mean? And
Same here.
so
Same here.
so the spaceship used to take off or whatever. So when you think about NASA and the spaceship, it takes off. When I used to like when I used to get mad, I didn't think twice about punching you
You
in the
just lit
face.
off like a rocket.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where it came from. So it comes from a
I
real
love
place.
that, bro. I love
Yeah,
that. I did not know that. That is cool.
yeah. It comes
That is
off. It,
cool.
it comes from a real place. But now making my name like I'm changing the story of it. Like even though I could be on that type of time where I can be angry and mad, I'm really
Right.
trying to just be on peace. You know what I mean? So
I hear
it's
you.
one of them type
I
of
hear
days
you.
of like an oxymoron type of. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, I don't know if I ever told you this, Rube, but growing up and because and this is one thing I didn't mention when I was on your show a couple weeks ago, which y'all, if y'all get a chance to check out Handicap and Chill, you got to check out my boys. I tell
Right.
you,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
they do a hell of a show. I was on there a couple weeks ago, we thought we were going to go for half an hour. What we go an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah, when the conversations are good, we you know what I'm saying. We
When
don't
the
know when to
when the
stop.
conversations get real and get personal, and you got people that are willing to basically damn the torpedoes for lack of a better expression. But
Right.
when I was growing up, from about oh fuck, I want to say fifth grade on, one of my closest friends what has was like my cow, with the crutches.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yeah, and he was like my bodyguard basically, because I was a theater nerd. I was a bully victim. But he was one of my dearest friends up till we lost touch a couple of years ago. Now I've got uh when I was in college I met this couple. The girl had it. The girl has it, and she's been my tutor, my advocate, and uh, basically recently my life coach.
Right.
But we've known each other going on. I think this fall is 26 years. And
That's
and
what's
and
up.
and
That's what's up.
and she's a lot like you. She's a lot like you, Ruth. She don't let it. She's never let it define her. She's never let people get away with thinking less. You know what I'm saying?
So I would be completely honest with you. So growing up, I used to kind of let it get to me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I used to like talk to females and the females and okay, first of all, are you know about Fresh Prince, right? Fresh Prince of Bel Air, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this one scene in Fresh Prince of Bel Air that's my favorite scene, right? When when Will Smith meets his dad, and his dad goes, "I got to get back on the road," and so we can't spend time together. And then Will Smith goes, "I'm gonna give me a wife. I'm gonna have me some kids, and I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna do everything good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do everything without him. You know what I'm saying?" He goes, "The hell with him." Remember that? Remember that?
Do you know the backstory to that?
No, tell me in a few minutes because I'm gonna tell you why. I'll tell you why I use this, right?
All right, go
So
for it.
So like when the girls didn't used to talk to me or whatever, and they used to like not want to talk to me, but they go
Mhm.
to dudes that I know were trash, will go treat them like trash. I used to go, why they don't want me, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
That is one of my that is one of my favorite scenes in classic what I call dramedy.
right, right, right,
The
right, right.
the backstory to that scene. I saw an interview that Will did a couple of years ago before the infamous slap incident with Chris Rock,
Hmm.
which was just butt backwards as you get. But
Yeah, like that was
um,
unnecessary.
he was asked point blank on a radio show how he got through that scene, and he said that the night that they shot it, they had to shoot it like 12 times because he wasn't getting it. He wasn't getting the emotions that he wanted, and he wasn't getting the emotions that the director wanted. And it was James Avery, Godspeed, sir, pulled him aside
Mm.
and says, "Use me, aim it at me. Don't fuck the audience. Aim, use me. You know, if you got to get physical to get it where you want it to get it out, do it." And that's he says, I was able to lean on him and just you know he was basically I locked eyes with him and I use that kind of a zone out to kind of take my real life out of it
Yeah,
and just
because James Avery said when he hugged Will Smith, he whispered in his
mhm.
ears. It was like he whispered in his ears, it was like, "You got it, you did it, you got." You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what Will said. He says you fucking made it. You will never forget this moment. That's what he
right,
told
right,
Will.
right, right.
And
That's a
that is
fact. That's a
and
fact.
and James, God rest in peace, brother. But yeah, that's a classic. That's a great way of looking at it. I mean,
And see, that's the reason why I think I'm good with this podcasting. Like I'm good with media in general. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done interviews with people. I had a
mhm.
job for 16 years when I was the host of the restaurant. I talked to the training classes. Like I'm very animated. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm very animated, and
I know it. I've seen it.
because of a cancer. One thing about a cancer is we overthink a lot. So
We overanalyze. You're right.
that could be that's a bad thing, but that could also be a good thing when we're
It
doing
is a
like
double-edged sword, no
projects.
question.
Yeah, when we do projects and when we do things that we really care about, it's
Hmm.
a good thing. But it's a bad thing when it comes to relationships. Though I'm not gonna lie. So
It can come around. And tell me if you noticed this, Rude.
mhm.
But we also have this unfortunate challenge to where we don't see people's true motives until we're too deep into shit.
Yeah, because the thing
Everybody
is,
else can see it, but until we're confronted with it, we're blind.
yeah, because the thing is, when we first meet you, when we first like you,
Right.
we only see that. See, the thing with a cancer is we want to see your first impression. Because your first impression that you show us is going to be that impression that we expect all the time. When you
Hmm.
when you start moving different, when you start acting different, I don't
Yeah.
know if this happens for you because this happens for me. When you start moving different and you start straying away from the person that I met, I start to back up. You know what I mean? Because you're not.
It takes me a while to kind of see the change. But once I do, yeah, I do tend to back off and and try to reevaluate, even though
Right, right.
it takes me a while it takes me sometimes too long. I've been hurt enough times to admit that in recent years. Um,
The reason why you probably get hurt is because so cancers, we're healers. This is what people don't understand. We're healers. So we
mhm,
we no matter how messed up the person is,
right.
if we come across them, we're going to look at the good of that person. So whatever somebody hates about that person, we're gonna be like, you know what, he or she's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like gonna be all right. We got our
because we buy so deep into first impressions, we think that that's how they are 24/7 when that's not
exactly,
always the case,
exactly, exactly,
you know. But
exactly.
and you're right, cancers, that's one of those double-edged swords. That's one of the double-edged swords of our particular sign is,
One of the things is
we take permanently what we see initially, and then
yeah, and then we stay
any
too
change from
long.
that, it takes us forever to recognize.
Yeah, because we stay too long. That's that forever to recognize. We stay too long. We should have left a long time ago.
Hmm. Dude, I tell you, I've been burned like that more times than I care to count. But
We all have, man. That's life.
you know, but tell us about your now. You got your thing, the project. Tell everybody about that. Tell the folks about that.
Okay, so the project you talking about the Rude Life NASA project?
Yes.
Um, all right. So the Rude Life NASA project, like you said, because you were talking about relationships. Um, that's one of the things I love talking about.
Right.
Relationships, sports, and just real things that's going on. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So the Rule Life NASA project is basically just how I feel about projects. I mean, about relationships in general. Um, how I move towards people. How I feel like how I feel like certain people should move towards other people. It's just basically just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I just put my thoughts on the project. And the thing about it was when I do those type of projects, I don't
Hmm.
write anything down. I don't. This is not scripted. You know what I'm saying? This is just I just put on the earphones, plug it up, and just start talking. You know what I
Just let
mean?
it fly,
So
right?
yeah, so I've made a lot of projects. I've made a lot of episodes about that, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna call it the Real Life NASA project because it's my thoughts and nobody else's thoughts. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, I love that, bro. I love that.
Yeah, man.
Because that and that's how you and I linked up in the first place. Was we were on, talking about relationships and whatnot on some other shows, and
Hmm.
and then like I said a couple weeks ago, we talked about, because I've been saying for 2 years I was going to start doing this shit. You know?
Yeah, it's not for the
And
week. It's fun, but it's not for the week.
no, no, that's facts. That's facts. No, but when when I heard about handicap and chill with you and my Cal, I was like, okay, I got to check this shit out. And then we talked about it, and like I said, you guys had me on, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
that was a wild episode. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Y'all are two random brothers, but that's what I love about it, bro. Is you guys are, see, this is the thing I like about our crew, man. Is we got a lot of people that don't that basically are, screw what everybody else thinks. This is how we feel, and we're going to talk. Let's talk about it. Let's you know share our perspectives. Listen to everybody else's, and just let it be random, let it be wild, let it go where it's going to go. Screw the Kens and the Karens. Just put our perspectives out there, put ourselves out there to a certain extent. You muted, bro, or something. I don't know. Your audio might have screwed up. I don't know.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we got you.
Okay, I pushed the button. I pushed the button on my microphone. All right, so I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your podcast.
Right.
So when I do the Handicap and Chill podcast, and when I did the project, that's like my therapy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I deal with my frustrations. Because honestly, even though I'm a cool person and I'm a fun person, I'm a random person. I don't hang out with a lot
You're
of people.
blessed, brother. You're just so much fun.
Yeah, I don't hang out with a lot of people because I don't want I don't want everybody's energy to rub up on me. You know what I'm saying? So like
Hmm.
I stay to myself. Now I do hang out with a certain amount of people, but my circle is small. And I want
Right.
it that way. So when I talk on the Handicap and Chill podcast, when I do interviews like with you or Laura D, shout
Yeah.
out to her, you know, Handicap and Chill, I love doing that because I really like when you see me on the podcast or when you see me on these interviews,
Hmm.
that's me just being me. But I really just stay to
Right.
myself. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So that's why I like this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie.
You know, you reminded me um, when you said it's your therapy. I was on an episode with one of Eric G's shows a while back, and I forget which one, but I'll find it and I'll send it to you later.
Right.
Um, but we were talking about he was talking about how uh when he gets behind the mic when he gets in front of the camera, it's not Eric Green, which is his real name.
Right.
It's Eric G, and he said this is my therapy. This is my the phone. He says the podcast space is the phone booth. I said no, it's not
Yeah.
your phone booth. It's your sounding board because you got to release shit once in a while.
Yeah, man. Because what people gotta understand is like when we do these podcasts,
Hmm.
this is this this is like a this is like all right, lights camera action. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
this is what we do for the public. This is what we do so we can show y'all how we move and how we think. But like
Hmm.
when we're at home and we're chilling, we're trying to really just chill, like because we
Right.
see. I don't know if you haven't been there yet. You'll get there. When you start
Hmm.
doing a lot of interviews and doing a lot of shows,
Hmm.
like the 20th, 30th show, you're gonna be like, I don't know. I'm I, I'm kind of tired. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna take a couple weeks off. You know, you gonna get there. I'm telling you, you're gonna get there. Everybody goes through it. You
Yeah.
know, and
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you do. What you do, Rude, you got to take a break to kind of reset and find you if what you're putting out there is too far off the mark. You
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Plus,
facts.
plus like you said, this industry isn't for the weak.
Right. This is like you gotta love doing this too, because
Absolutely.
right now, the money's not there. So you like if you gonna like it, you gotta like it because this is what you want to do, not because you're
Right.
trying to make money. You know what I mean? But I like the
And you
conversation.
and you gotta be willing to let some of your walls down too.
Yeah, now like that's the one thing about me though. I'm completely honest. Um,
Right.
I'm the type of person. Hey, you don't like what I said? Okay, don't be around me because this is how I am. This is what's going. You know what I mean? I can't
Facts.
change that about
Facts.
myself.
No, that's
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 a
that's
fact.
that's one thing I respect about you, bro. And a lot of our people. And you mentioned Laura. She's that is one genuine woman, man. I got nothing but respect for that girl. And
Yeah, man.
and successful toy, same thing. She
Yeah.
she she, she, she she's what you see or what you hear, depending on what uh media format she decides to use for her shows, whether she uses video or whether she uses Podbean, because Podbean is strictly audio. So, um,
One thing I respect about my Cal 57 is he lets me be me. He knows I say some random things. He knows that I might say some things he might not agree with, but
mhm.
he just gonna let me say it, and then you know what I mean. He just gonna let me do it.
He
You know what I mean?
and that is and from what like I said, I don't have as much experience with him as I do with you. I've been doing stuff with you for months now. And I just met him just recently, just before we decided
That's
to
my
do
brother.
the interview episode, which was fire. I mean, that was a blast.
Yeah, that's
But
my brother right there.
yeah, he is a seriously genuine dude. You know, he don't put up no front like a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? Neither
Yeah,
one of you
that's
do.
good.
Neither one of you. I mean, you know what we see what we see is y'all at face value, point blank period.
Yeah, and I'm always I like the thing. Like you hit me up the other day, and you was like, "Hey, what about the show at like 6?" I said, "Okay." You hit me up at like 2 something in the morning. You was like, "Oh, you're awake?" I was like, "Yeah," like because I'm always doing something. So
Okay, let's pull the curtain back here a little bit so to give people the context of that.
I, okay,
I'm a night owl. You know, I'm one of those people. I'm doesn't matter if I'm awake most of the day. I'm still up late because when I was growing up, I was in the
oh yeah, that
lodging
did sound
industry.
crazy when I just said that, right? That did sound crazy.
No, it didn't. It's not. No, it sounded good. But the background for me is I grew up in the lodging industry with my folks, so I would have to be being the only kid, you know, being the youngest of the three, obviously. I would have to wait up for people to come in, you know, like 1, 2 in the morning. So I just got, and then when I was in my 20s, I would go out and excuse me, I go out and do karaoke and whatnot at the bars and whatnot till I finally got sick of drinking. But even then, I was up late doing one thing or another. So it just became second nature to me. So uh, when I was up, yeah, this was just the other day. I was up real late. I was checking some. I was responding to a life coach out of Australia that I've been talking to. And I was talking to him, and I saw you were on. I'm like, what's he doing on at 2 in the fucking morning?
I'm always up, man. Like I've been like that since I was in college. So yeah,
Same,
going
same
and
high school and
going,
college for me.
going
But
and going to like staying up late, getting up early to go to class. So
right,
it's easy. You know what I mean?
no, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Well, listen, man, we're gonna wrap this up. Like I said, this is the first. This is kind of the preview episodes. I'm doing one-on-ones with my crew. Then
Right.
we'll figure out what I'm doing with the pilot season, I'm going to have everybody back on. We'll be doing panels and whatnot here, hopefully with before the end of summer.
When you do the panel, let me
Um,
know. I'm here.
oh, absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you and with everybody. But I want to thank you real quick. Let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram at Rude Life period NASA or Threads because I'm not on Twitter like that. So Threads, Rude Life period NASA. My Facebook is Rude Life Space NASA. So that's where you can find me. Subscribe to Handicap and Chill podcast. You know what I mean? Because we could all use
Definitely
some
subscribe to
subscribers.
that because
Yeah,
these guys do a phenomenal job, and the chemistry is
yeah.
unreal.
We do the show every Thursday. Um, but since like July 4th is coming and my birthday's coming, uh, we're gonna take a few weeks off. So you're probably not gonna see us for a little while. But definitely subscribe to Handicap and Show podcast. Hey JC, I want to.
When is yours, Rude?
When is my birthday?
Yeah.
July 10th.
Dude, I'm only 2 weeks. Well, I don't know about years, but I'm like 2 weeks behind. 2 weeks behind you, give or take.
What is yours like the 17th?
Yep.
Right, yeah. So you like 2 weeks behind me, like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
2 weeks. So mine's is,
But
mine's
again,
is gonna be mine's is July 10th, and so I told my Carol I was like, hey, look, bro, it's my birthday week. Let's just you go on vacation, do what you gotta do, handle your business over there. I'm gonna handle some
right.
business over here, bro. So he was like, all right, cool, because we already
Yeah.
you all need that rest period. So
Oh, absolutely. You gotta reset now and then, especially for your birthday.
right. So follow me on at Rude Life Period NASA or Instagram or Threads, Facebook, Rude Life NASA. Subscribe to the Handicap and Chill podcast. Shout out to Michael57. Hey, the Handicap and Chill podcast is every Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Now you said with the holiday you're going to take. Are you doing one this week, or are you guys taking this week off?
So we're gonna so I think the third is a Thursday, right?
Yeah,
July 3rd, right?
yeah.
All right, so July 3rd is our last podcast for a minute, for like a week or two.
All right, cool.
So
Well, Rude,
y'all tune
I
in.
appreciate. Yeah, yeah, definitely tune in. 'Cause, I mean, like I said, these guys don't you can't you know that's one thing is you can't don't judge the you can't judge a show by its title. You got to see what the real deal is. And these two are definitely the real deal. The chemistry is awesome. I'm going to have Mike Cal on here in the next month or so. Hopefully, I officially invited him a couple days ago, and we're just trying to get our dates down.
Yeah, hey,
But yeah, shout out to him.
before you go, I realized
Yeah,
rubbing my hands like this, like I did in the picture, makes me look like
yeah.
some kind of mafia boss. so,
I
so
didn't
this,
think of that. That's true though. But anyway, man, we out of here. Stay tuned, everybody. I'll be coming on. I'll be coming back on in about 40 minutes with Tyler Barbosa. Rude, I will talk to you soon, my brother. Thank you for coming on, bro.
all right, man. Have a good day, man. Peace.
All right. Peace out, everybody.